Using a bow is harder to get behind in Elden Ring than it is in Elden Ring Nightreign, but it's worth it if you want to embarrass the bad guys with piercing damage. Different types have different ranges to play with, but up close they all punish anything that stands in your way. Why not use a close range weapon then? It's the same reason even wizards might carry a machine gun. Options. Enough so that at least one of them work. Light bows have the fastest single shot firing speed. But there's more! You should equip one if you want an easier time landing shots, even if they do less damage than their larger counterparts. Just like in Nightreign, jump attacks, attacking immediately after a dodge or attacking right after a backstep fires an arrow without you having to stand in one place. This keeps you constantly making a fool out of your opponent's attempts to rain on your parade. They're also compatible with the Barrage Ash of War, one of the most useful ranged battle arts you can get your hands on. Did I mention this guy might be biased? Probably not. So I'm saying it now. Keep up the pressure and use arrows that aren't damage focused but build up focused. Scarlet Rot, Frost, Poison, the works. Once the aggressor is softened, switch to a melee weapon or keep giving them nightmares. Your choice. By the by, don't be afraid to hunt wildlife with these things. If you need materials and you like to shoot, there you go. Just switch your targets with reckless abandon. Cause you can. Cause you can. Standard bows are where the range gets even longer and the shots get more awkward. While you can evade the shoot faster with one of these classic ranger tools in Nightreign, their behavior in Elden Ring is, well, underwhelming. You can only get quick shots off when you jump and shoot. We'll call this the Mega Man. Thank you, Capcom and Ego Raptor. But that's no reason to keep this stronger ranged weapon from being upgraded, especially if you're using the only one that comes with Barrage, which you can't change. Because shots are farther and slower, it's best to equip arrows that come with heavier damage. Fire, magic, lightning, holy, anything the enemy doesn't like. You can still take advantage of the build-up effects, just with less effectiveness than the one bow that behaves like a light bow could. Remember, fighting one guy at a time is how you survive until the next grace with maximum likelihood. Since you have the range, why not use it to lure your foes where you want them? Come here, Stanley! Greatbows, a big-ass projectile launcher. It's the slowest, strongest bow you can acquire. Uses great arrows instead of, well, arrows, and my personal favorite. Using this thing is slower than many enemies attack, and even still it turns the tides of battle. This one is also good to do a Mega Man with, as the shot windup happens while you move, and enemies either get knocked back or knocked down. The bigger the target, the less likely they'll dodge. Sniping is a tactic you'll want to employ with any Greatbow. Even when his armament is lower level, you can use the enemy's surroundings to your advantage. Halictree, I'm talking about the Halictree. Consider being an archer when you're using summons, be they other players or spirit ashes. Watching chunks leave a boss's health bar can be a very satisfying experience, and you're not being faked out by 1,000-year attacks. There are times you may not want to be locked to two hands for projectile usage. Don't want to worry about your stats affecting how much stronger your weapon is, or maybe don't want to worry about managing Ashes of War. This preference is for the bow, fire, and crossbows, and ballistas too, but we'll get to that shortly. Firing these armaments requires using light attack or strong attack to chamber a round, then light attack or strong attack for the specific round you want. Shooting takes minimal time once it's loaded, and if you swap equipped weapons, it'll stay loaded. This is best to use when you have a moment to breathe, don't need to replenish anything, and have enough distance to dodge. Not that it's usually capable of being longer range. Trying to load and shoot before getting hit is riskier, so focus on loading and waiting for the right time between melee strikes and dodge windows to let loose. These weapons don't have changeable Ashes of War at all. That's the price of their convenience, and the skills they come with are enough in most situations. You'll notice that the bigger the bow, the less ashes it'll be compatible with, but they all come with a way to break through shields or rain arrows in some capacity. Garters beware. Crossbows let you keep the equivalent to a flintlock pistol at the ready with any affinity you can manage, which isn't that bad of a trade-off once you get the hang of loading and shooting strategically. Don't forget to play with the weapons you can equip in the other hand, as the right combo for you can make a devastating combatant near and far. Of course you can snipe, but be mindful of the range you have to deal with. There's some crossbows that have burst fire, rapid fire, and multi-projectile spread shots, as well as one that has a bow-like range. Keep exploring, or googling, there's always that, and you can adjust your tactics accordingly. The best of both worlds, a friggin' hand ballista. You know those gigantic crossbows that stay planted on the ground used to guard castles, fortresses, and the like? This weapon is between those and standard crossbows in size and damage, as well as their ammo, the Greatbow. They don't do more damage for anybody with a specific build. All that matters is the ammunition, or whether or not you make the shot. If the spread shot crossbow is a shotgun, the ballista is a boomstick, or boom jar, or hand cannon. Sure, it's got less range than the Greatbow, and it's the slowest projectile launcher to load in Elden Ring and or Nightreign, but it pays off so much when you play your cards right. Use it when you want to blow your enemies to pieces more effectively than a Greatbow ever will. All the more when there's a cluster of jerks waiting for the pain. The windup is unavoidable for this armament, Mega Man or not. This doesn't mean it should be taken for granted. Really annoying enemies can become really fun to deal with when you've got an upgraded Ballista to blast them away with. There's just something about it that makes hunting for hefty beast bones worth the hassle. This is another item that can smite boss health by the chunk, so be mindful of who they're focused on before you shoot if you don't want to become someone's trophy. Unlike crossbows, their smaller counterpart, loading and shooting and reloading happens all at once. You can't decide when you do any one of these actions, so if you're gonna fire, make it count. Elden Ring makes you acquire resources and materials to make or buy ammunition for a reason. It can make all the difference in combat, but you have to be smart about how and when you use it. Nightreign doesn't ask you to find ammo, so if you want to practice without looking for wildlife, you can always give it a go in the tutorial battleground. Otherwise, if you don't have a copy, start with the lower tier enemies in Elden Ring to get a feel for your weapons, and be certain to craft materials since your runes can come with more challenges than wailing on deer, warthogs, birds, and whatever that's supposed to be ever will. They're cute and respawn anyway, so try not to feel bad about it. Want to know more about each weapon type in 10 seconds or less? Give our Soulsborne Notes playlist a go. It really won't take that long to take a gander. Or maybe you want to look at a quick, extremely biased video about an earlier From Software game? There's that too. Thanks for the internet, love. We hope to see you soon. Well, hear from you technically. All we see are numbers and channel photos.